Imagine knowing the greatest war in history is about to erupt and trying to stop it. Now, imagine everyone ignores you. This is the story of the man who tried to prevent World War I and how the world just didn't listen. It's the early 1900s and Europe is a ticking time bomb. Tensions are high, alliances are locked in place, and everyone is stocking up on weapons like it's Black Friday at the arms dealer. And then there's a man named Jean Jaurès. He wasn't a king, a general, or even a diplomat. Nope. Jaurès was a French socialist and pacifist, a guy armed with nothing but words and an unshakable belief that war was the worst idea since, well, ever. Jaurès was a politician, a journalist, and an intellectual powerhouse. Think of him as the original "can we all just get along" guy, but with way more eloquence. He believed in democracy, workers' rights, and above all, peace. But by 1914, peace was in short supply. Europe was divided into two camps, the Triple Entente, France, Russia, and Britain, and the Triple Alliance, Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. It was like a giant game of Risk. Except nobody was having fun, and the stakes were global annihilation. Jaurès saw the writing on the wall. He knew that if war broke out, it wouldn't just be soldiers fighting, it would be ordinary people, the workers and families who'd pay the ultimate price. So, he traveled across Europe, meeting with leaders, giving speeches, and practically shouting from the rooftops, "Don't do this!" He warned that a war wouldn't be short or glorious, it would be a catastrophe. Spoiler, he was right. Then, in June 1914, the unthinkable happened. Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary was assassinated in Sarajevo. It was the spark that lit the powder keg. Jaurès, however, didn't give up. While everyone else was busy dusting off their battle plans, he was still campaigning for peace. He even organized a massive anti-war rally in Paris, urging workers across Europe to unite and refuse to fight. But here's where the story takes a dark turn. On July 31st, 1914, just days before World War I officially began, Jaurès was assassinated. A French nationalist named Raoul Villain, yes, that was his real name, ironic, right? Shot him in a cafe in Paris. Why? Because Villain believed Jaurès was a traitor for opposing the war. The tragedy is that Jaurès' death was like the final green light for Europe's plunge into chaos. 4 days later, World War I began. Over the next 4 years, more than 16 million people would die, and the world would never be the same. Jaurès' warnings about the horrors of modern warfare were proven horribly accurate. Here's a question to chew on. What if the world had listened to Jean Jaurès? Could the war have been avoided, or was it inevitable, given the tangled web of alliances and rivalries? Historians debate this, but one thing's clear. Jaurès' vision for peace was ahead of its time. He wasn't just trying to stop a war, he was trying to change how nations resolved their conflicts. Today, Jaurès is remembered as a hero of peace. Schools, streets, and even metro stations in France bear his name. His writings and speeches are studied as a reminder that standing up for what's right often means standing alone. So the next time someone says, "What difference can one person make?" remember Jean Jaurès, the man who saw the storm coming and tried against all odds to stop it. And hey, speaking of trying to make a difference, why not hit that subscribe button? It's way easier than trying to stop a world war, and I promise it won't get you assassinated in a cafe.